In the past few weeks, there's been a lot of talk about AI and its future role in the art world. With generative AI tools like DALL-E, Midjourney, and the most recent ChatGPT, a lot of creatives are very nervous about their own role in the future of art. Now AI can create realistic images in all kinds of styles, they can write entire books in the style of Shakespeare, and do what takes human hours, days, or even months in just a few seconds. Music AIs have not come as far yet, but I'm sure we'll see some great advances very soon. So, does this mean that you should just sell your equipment and start doing something else while we're waiting for our robot overlords to take over? Well, here's my little take on AI art. These AI tools really are incredible. You can give them any prompt and they will create incredibly detailed and realistic renderings of what you ask for. And these tools make it hard not to wonder what the point will be of paying imperfect flesh creatures like ourselves big sums of money to create art an AI can create for free in just seconds. And likely, some of us will be replaced. But who? Well, likely the artists that are doing the same thing as the AI, namely copying, stealing, or plagiarizing other people's work, or artists whose works are unoriginal and that can be easily copied. At this point, we can't deny that AI is able to match a human skill in many aspects. But this is not the first time people are worried about being replaced by technology. For example, when cameras gained popularity, many painters were worried that their skills would no longer be needed if people could just create perfect pictures by a simple click of a button. But, as we all know, we still have painters around. And when recording technology like the gramophone was invented, many musicians were certain they were going to be out of a job. Now, when people easily could listen to the real artist that created the songs at home, they wouldn't need to spend the money on a real musician to come entertain at their next dinner party. But as we all know, these tools have become important for both painters and musicians to spread and promote their works. But certain artists and musicians were probably replaced by these cheaper, faster, and more accessible technologies. The need for mediocre portrait painters or cover bands would be covered by cheaper and more accurate technologies that would let the consumer see a perfect rendition of themselves or listen to the actual singer perform, instead of someone trying to sound like someone else. And in the same way today, the writers, visual artists, and musicians who copy, replicate, or steal other people's work will likely lose some of their work to AI. Or just artists making art that is unoriginal or easy to copy. Music for corporate informational videos, or motel art paintings, or pulp fiction may be the first art forms to be replaced by AI. Not because there's anything wrong with these art forms. They require effort and skill like any other art form, but because they're often mass-produced and the quality matters less since they're not the focal point of the setting they are consumed in. In 1996, the chess engine Deep Blue beat the world champion Garry Kasparov. The chess world was shook. Many believed this would be the end of professional chess tournaments. Because what was even the point of playing when computers could beat even the best human chess players? Were they right? No. Chess tournaments are still watched by millions every year. The players have huge fan bases, and commentators analyze and talk about their games for hours afterwards. Even though we know a chess computer would have won every single tournament, we still prefer to watch people play other people. Why? Because we care more about what people do, and we don't care as much about computers doing things. Once we're done being impressed at first by a new technology, we usually don't care that much anymore. We get used to it, because we see computers doing things humans can't do all day, every day. But seeing a person doing something better than other people is still more entertaining to us. And it's the same with art. One of the most important aspects of art is that it's fundamentally human. Good art tells us something about being human and about the life of the creator. Knowing that Beethoven was losing his hearing top down, making his music deeper pitched as the higher frequencies became unavailable to him, does something to the way we listen to his music from this period. Or when we look at the painting Scream by Edvard Munch, we see one of the most iconic faces from the Expressionist era. But we can understand the feelings of the artist so much better when we read his description of it. I was walking along the road with two friends. The sun was setting. Suddenly the sky turned blood red. I paused, feeling exhausted, and leaned on the fence. There was blood and tongues of fire above the blue-black fjord in the city. My friends walked on, and I stood there trembling with anxiety, and I sensed an infinite scream passing through nature. And knowing that his sister had just been committed to a mental institution, it gives us a shared emotional perspective, and we can almost feel what he felt when he painted this painting. AI can't connect with us on this level. We can tell an AI to compose like Beethoven's Death Period, or a Dali to create a painting of a depressed person in the style of Edvard Munch. But in the end, we know it's not real. We know it's just a computer analyzing and compiling millions of pieces of other people's art into something new. I've also heard some people claim that AI compiling millions of pieces of art really isn't any different than how human artists are inspired and influenced by other people's work. And this is true in a sense. We don't create music in a vacuum. We are influenced by what we hear, like, and the culture around us. And really, this is what culture is. The art and music in a culture is a result of people creating and enjoying art together and being influenced by each other. But it's still not the same. As us humans read literature, listen to music, and look at art, our perspectives and outlooks change. And when we combine this with our lived experiences, our relationships, our travels, our successes and failures, it turns into something unique but recognizable, like a fingerprint. But only if we're honest about our art. If we're unoriginal or following someone else's style too much, we're really doing the same thing as an AI. Audience care about how your music makes them feel. They care about how they feel about you, how they feel about your content, but also familiarity and what feelings your music evokes in them. And personally, I think this is a dimension AI will never truly be able to replicate. So, what's the future of AI? We'll really have to wait and see, but my guess is that it will become a bigger part of our everyday life going forward. And that probably applies for art and music as well. But I doubt it will replace us. As with most technological advances, we'll probably find a way to integrate it into our workflow and help us produce things faster. But audiences will still want to connect with the creator and hear their stories, recognize themselves in their experiences, and find comfort in shared experiences. And that is something computers can't replace. So please, keep creating, enjoying, and sharing your music or art or other creative works. We'll always need people like you and me to share our unique perspectives and experiences with each other. Remember that humans are artists, computers are tools. And we can look forward to lots of new art as artists start implementing AI more in their works. So thank you for watching, please hit that like button and I'll see you in the next one. And in the meantime, you can check out this video right here, where I'm talking about 5 creative mistakes we all do from time to time that are holding us back from achieving our goals.